The August 21st, 2013 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Andrews, Mr. Antelli, Mr. Broth, Mr. Daniele, Mr. Haney, Mr. Hanna, Mr. Howland, Ms. Cayley, Dr. Quattro is excused, Mr. Tucciarello, Chairman Yolovich,
Here.
President Adair.
Are there any speakers signed up for the public forum?
There are no public forum speakers signed up this evening.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak to this committee? Seeing none, the next item is the approval of minutes. The minutes you have before you are from the July 31st, 2013 meeting, and they will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. Next item is new business. Madam Clerk.
Referral 13-241.
Moved by Legislator Howland, seconded by Legislator Daniele. Is there any discussion? Legislator Haney.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, what kind of a vehicle is this?
Through the chair, the vehicle will be a large van that can then be retrofitted and utilized to house granite-type equipment.
To house what?
Granite-type equipment, equipment used in narcotics investigation, surveillance equipment, that type of equipment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-242.
Moved by Legislator Daniele, seconded by Legislator Tucciarello. This item was amended in the IGR committee to change the location from the city of Rochester to Chili. Other than that, all the other parts of it stay the same. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-243.
Moved by Legislator Tucciarello, seconded by Legislator Antelli. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-244.
Moved by Legislator Antelli, seconded by Legislator Hanna. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-245.
Moved by Legislator Hanna, seconded by President Adair. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-246.
Moved by President Adair, seconded by Legislator Howland. Is there any discussion? Legislator Haney.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, a couple of questions. Some of these highways, like South Clinton Avenue, Hudson Avenue, Westfall Road, etc., cross from, parts of them are in the city, but would I be correct in assuming that the only parts of them that are included in this are outside the city of Rochester?
Through the chair, you are correct in assuming we would only be doing the sections that are county roads, which is outside the city of Rochester.
Okay. Second question through the chair. It makes a reference to doing engineering work on South Clinton Avenue. It's not too many years ago that South Clinton Avenue in the town of Brighton was reconstructed. Does it need construction work again already?
Well, through the chair, that was rehabilitated back in, I think it was the late 80s. We've done different maintenance treatments since then, and the treatments that we're going to look for any of these roads is going to be some type of preventive maintenance treatment. We're not going to be reconstructing the road. We'll probably be doing a mill and resurfacing on most of these, maybe a hot-in-place recycling and a paving, but that's really what we're doing. We're not reconstructing the road by any means.
Oh, so these are surface treatments. They're not...
No, through the chair, no. Surface treatment's a stone and oil treatment. These will be paved. We'll pave them,
yeah.
Probably mill the pavement off, mill some of the old pavement off first, and then put new pavement down.
And finally, the reference to Westfall Road, I assume this is part of Westfall Road other than the part that you've just reconstructed?
Yes, through the chair, you are correct. We'll be doing, many of these projects were done before these roads, and they do need more than just a sealing, and now we're going to be mill and resurfacing them. And this would be the section, I believe it's from Monroe to It might be to Lockville, but at least, if not, it's to Winton.
Okay. I would note, Mr. Chairman, that I drove through Westfall Road the other day, and the job that you've done on Westfall Road there from, well, you know where I mean. It's really beautiful. It's a great job.
Thank you, Paul.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-247.
Moved by Legislator Holland, seconded by Legislator Daniele. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baroth.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, how long has the Public Health Preparedness and Mass Disease Prevention Program been in place?
Through the chair, those efforts have been in place for about 11 years.
Thank you. And then through the chair of the administration, I had a question about the clause that states that we're going to contract staff to, quote, support exercise and drill development. Is that for just development of drills and such things, or is it actually to hold drills and exercises?
Through the chair, that is both.
Both.
So it includes the planning efforts as well as doing the drills. Some of those drills include on-site at the facilities. Some of those activities also include tabletops. And with tabletops, we mean rather than going to the facilities and trying to simulate what happens by moving, actual assets around, we gather folks around a table in which we have, if you will, game pieces. And those folks who are the decision makers, including from law enforcement, from the schools, from elected leadership locally, are around making those key decisions at the time of some event.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-248.
Moved by Legislator Daniele, seconded by Legislator Tucciarello. Is there any discussion? Legislator Haney.
Through the chair, do we do the test processing in-house?
Through the chair, the actual blood lead testing occurs locally, and then when there's an elevated blood lead test, among an individual child, then in this particular case, Orleans County is expecting our staff in the health department to actually go maybe into the home to do the further assessment and testing.
So through the chair, well, what will our staff be doing? I mean, will our staff be drawing the blood, or?
Through the chair, no, they will not be involved in actually testing the blood. Rather, when those assessments, come to their county, because this is reportable. So generally, what happens, children are in, in New York State, they have to be tested at ages 1 and 2, and when they're screened, they end up having an elevated blood test level that's confirmed, is then reported to the county, and then at that point, based upon what the level is, the county has the responsibility of going into the home or the other locations where that child may spend time and assessing for lead exposures. So it's that latter piece, assessing for lead exposures in the housing, that we would take on that responsibility.
So through the chair, our people will be going into a house in the town of Kent, in Orleans County, and testing the paint or the dust or something?
Through the chair, that is correct.
Through the chair, that will entail quite a bit of travel. I mean, if Orleans County runs all the way to the Niagara County line, does $8,000 fully cover all of our costs for doing that?
Through the chair, previously we had set a level of about $1,000, and as one example, in 2009, during that year in which the contract was set for $1,000, we actually did one single inspection, and the cost for that was somewhere in the ballpark about $550. And so, given the fact that Orleans County have since changed their protocol, they're anticipating an increased number of cases that will result in them having to have housing inspections. So we think that maybe the value that's in this contract for $8,000 is appropriate.
Thank you.
Legislator Cayley?
Thank you, through the chair. In consideration of the uptick in their anticipating of lead levels requiring inspection, has it ever been considered that Monroe County assist Orleans in creating their own programming that might save them funding versus, I realize that intergovernmental is these agreements do offer us an income, but it would seem to me that if their levels are going up, that at some point would it be appropriate to talk with Orleans about creating their own inspection system that would be appropriate?
Through the chair, part of the reason why, Orleans County has reached out to us is because the infrastructure costs, are associated with that testing is high. So, for example, the instruments that's actually used to measure the lead in the paint and in the dust, that's an expensive piece of equipment, not only to purchase, but also to maintain and also to keep calibrated, but also to have the appropriate training for staff to conduct those testing. So for those infrastructure costs, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to invest in that if you have a relatively small number of cases.
All right, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-249.
Moved by legislator Tucciarello, seconded by legislator Antelli. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-250.
Moved by legislator Antelli, seconded by legislator Hannah. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-251.
Moved by legislator Hannah, seconded by President Adair. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-253.
Moved by President Adair, seconded by legislator Howland. Legislator Baroth.
Through the chair of the administration, could you share what the engineer's estimated the project cost was before the bids were received?
Through the chair, $866,057.
$866,570.
Through the chair, $866,057.
Oh, sorry, thank you. 057. And then through the chair of the administration, I was a little confused by how, or by what means the $200,000 increase for the bonding was arrived at. I was imagining perhaps it was an underestimate on the part of the engineering estimate, maybe something else.
Through the chair, the scope of the project remains the same as it was in the capital improvement program. The increase is a contingency based upon that the capital budget was first introduced over a year and a half ago, and the fact that the federal funding that we receive, that we will receive, that was unanticipated, is nearly is $915,000 for the project, and the federal government allows a 15% allowance for completion onto that. All other costs remain the same, which brought the total projected new cost to $1,174,000. The increase is a contingency to remain within the capital budget within that $1,174,000 new cost that we project.
Thank you. Then through the chair of the administration, so I understand that we expect that at some point in time, assuming nothing goes wrong, that in fact we'll have bonded for more than we actually need to spend, correct?
Through the chair, that is correct.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item, please.
Referral 13-254.
Moved by legislator Holland, seconded by legislator Daniele. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Next item, please.
Referral 13-256.
Moved by legislator Daniele, seconded by legislator Tucciarello. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? Legislator Haney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. About 6 weeks ago, Mr. Chairman, we received, the committee members received from Mr. Franklin the second quarter key, I think it's the second quarter key indicator report. And I just had one question, which I'm sure Mr. Franklin can answer easily. The top of page 2, the paragraph at the top, it says mandated services are projected to finish the year with a variance of bracket 5.5, close bracket million to 0.4 million. Am I correct in assuming that a bracketed number means we're doing better than budget, and an unbracketed number means we'll be over budget, or is it the opposite? Which is good in effect?
Mr. Chairman, I didn't bring that report with me tonight. I apologize. If the legislator wouldn't mind, I'd be happy to follow up with him tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a simple question. Maybe it's not. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, generally speaking on those reports, I'm going from memory, the brackets generally...
I can appreciate you don't have it in front of you, right? Okay, thank you.
There being no other matters, the August 21st, 2013 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Ways and Means Committee is scheduled for September 18th, 2013. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.